Hey everybody, I'm back here with another palm review after a long time as usual. So it is that time of year where I pop in, make a video, and then disappear just like your dad going out to get the milk, except I eventually return. But the pomade we'll be taking a look at today is a new version, a new spin on an old classic, which is Sweet Georgia Brown Blue. Now, in the past decade, SGB, I'll be calling it SGB for short now. So, SGB was manufactured by Murray's in the past decade, and now Lockhart's Pomade, yes, the famous homebrew company that brought us Goonries, they are the new manufacturers of SGB. And Pomada.de, they hold the SGB name, they have the ownership rights to the SGB brand, and so they were really cool. They were really nice to send me one of these tins my way for me to review on this channel. So Murray's, they made the blue version, which was a heavy version, but they somehow managed to lose the formula, so it disappeared from the market. And they kept on manufacturing the original red medium holding version up until manufacturers, they just switched up manufacturers. So Pomada.de, they've been owning the SGB brand since I believe 2018. And now all the manufacturing is outsourced to Lockhart's Pomade, where they did their best to replicate the original SGB while putting their own spin to it, while more or less preserving the vibe that it actually had, while bringing the new benefits of Lockhart's Pomade. And first of all, let's talk about the visual differences that you see in a can. This is the old version, obviously. This is the new version, so yay, no more Comic Sans. Everything looks a lot more professional and a lot more vintage. And these characters at the bottom here, they stand out more with the white background over there. The SGB mascot, which is the SGB girl, also has somewhat of an improvement. No more Comic Sans. They brought back the vintage fonts with gold borders around the text, and everything looks a lot more shiny. So down here, this is where you would find the ingredients, unlike in the older version, where you would find it on did the old version have ingredients on the? I mean, the old version just has directions in English, French, German, and Spanish, while the new version only has text in English. Yeah, I could. Oh yeah, the ingredients are down here, but it looks like a sticker, while it's actually printed on the new version down here. So the back when Murray was manufacturing it, they had a distributor for Europe based in the UK, but now all the worldwide distribution, unless you're in the US, where you can just buy directly from Lockhart's, they're distributed by this address over here. I mean, it's not explicitly stated that. All right, that's a sticker covering it. It is not explicitly stated anywhere on the tin, but down here it says worldwide distributor, responsible person, Sweet Georgia Brown, and it gives this German address right here, which is the exact same address as the headquarters of Pomada.de in Ottokum near Munich, which obviously confirms that they hold the SGB brand. Uh, Everybody in the German palming community knows this. I mean, if you check their Instagram page, they have the exact same layout as the posts you would see, and the same design elements you see in their posts with the ones you see on the Pomada Shop page. So it was pretty obvious from the start that they hold the brand name, but now there is direct confirmation of it on the can right here just by checking the address. So enough chit chat. I'll just show you the let's get to the bottom of this. Right, so this is the old version, this is the new version, and you can tell that the older version is a lot more you can tell that there is an obvious difference between the homebrewed, a new homebrewed version and a new lab made, the old lab made version. It's a lot more greasy and shiny in the old one, and right off the bat, you can just see that it's super duper shiny. Well, it looks more cloudy and waxy in the new version made by Lockhart's. The scent is, I say that it's a very similar scent, but Lockhart's did a really good job in the scent because I feel that both of them have a slightly sweet, classic, a bit of a barbershop powder type of scent, except that the Murray's version smells a lot more artificial, while the Lockhart's version kind of has, I can't really describe that artificial feel that kind of makes it smell a little more fake in the old one, but the new one has this element that kind of makes it smell more like a vintage barbershop, like a sweet talc powder compared to the old one. There's just something off about the Murray's version, but the Lockhart's version just makes it smell a lot more natural. But let's just scoop it up right now. Just super easy to scoop out as usual with the SGB heavy. No waxiness whatsoever. It just breaks down like it's nothing. And you can just feel the stickiness right here. And now when you break it down, you can see somewhat of a bit of the cloudiness, but you can see the shine that it gives off as well. So the main vibe about the old SGB is that it's supposed to be, even though it's a heavy, it is supposed to give a really good amount of shine, like somewhere between a medium to high shine, while being somewhat of a firm hold and really easy to apply to your hair, which makes it pretty superior compared to other heavy pomades made by classic heavy pomades or pomades from classic brands. Now, compared to the older version by Murray's, you can see the greasy shine, the wet shine in your hair just right away. You can see the shine here, but you can see that's a lot more, not a lot more, but you can see that it's somewhat mitigated compared to the older version. You have a really good amount of shine, like I would say a notch above medium. It's still lower than the shine you get on the original version. And since my hair is damp, it is pretty easy. It goes in like nothing. I would say it actually applies easier compared to the older version, even though the older version is somewhat greasier, because I feel that with damp hair, there's that thing. Sometimes when you apply Murray's or some of the classic products, if your hair is damp, you would apply it to your hair and then you get that slip out of nowhere. But you don't get any of that with the Lockhart's version. And I mean, there's no tug and pull in both versions, but I feel that it's a lot easier to slick through and apply. At least the new Lockhart's version. You can see that I can feel some slight resistance, but there is no tug and pull whatsoever, and that's the one of the things that I really liked about the old SGB. And the new one apparently makes the styling and application process a lot easier. And for those of you, there were quite a lot of when this new version released. There is a noticeable increase in price. The original SGB you can get for about $5-6, and now it's more or less about more than 3 times the price. Well, I mean, between 3 or 4 times the price, and that is an extreme hike in the retail price now. And after I found out that Lockhart's manufactures it, that explains everything. I mean, from a classic pomade company like Murray's, you would get it for like pretty cheap. But now that it's Lockhart's, so you're using the highest quality ingredients, the highest quality processes, and the fact that it's a homebrewed company, you would definitely have to pay a lot more. And now I'm done styling. You can tell that it's a really, really quick process. It's just super easy to style with this one. Oh, and I forgot to mention the ingredients as well. So I say that the ingredients are very much what you would find in a classic pomade, and not really much like a Lockhart's product. So you have white petroleum jelly, micro wax, and that's the basic ingredients. But the Lockhart's version does not have lanolin wax, unlike the older version, and or lanolin for that matter. And the rest of the ingredients are all scent-related ingredients. Oh, never mind. It actually has lanolin. So the Lockhart's version, the old version has lanolin, but the new version does not have lanolin wax. And all the other ingredients you'd find here are scent-related ingredients, which on this label is broken down further compared to the older version, which only says fragrance, but this one has these alcohols listed in here. But I guess that complies to the EU laws, where you should not just say fragrance anymore, but you should actually really show what's in the fragrance. Just a couple of slicks right here. And you can tell that I'm getting it feels, the thing about the this pomade is that you don't really get a lot of like that waxy weight you would feel when using a lot of heavy pomades. And I feel that this one is you definitely feel a bit of the greasiness. You'd always feel greasiness in these types of classic pomades, and even the Lockhart's version, you feel that greasiness there. But for some reason, I feel that there's a less of that greasy feeling compared to the older version. And usually with heavier pomades, you sometimes feel like uh, an amount of wax just kind of like weighing, having that weighted sensation in your hair. Or even if there's like a lot of grease in there, you'd feel a bit of that weight from the grease. But I feel with this one, the weight is less noticeable compared to the older version. And right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and show how my hair looks. Good height there, good forwardness, round shape. And you see the shine is a notch above medium, still lower than the old um, version, but still a good amount of shine for what it is. I mean, it's Lockhart's after all. With Goon Grease, they managed to break the market with Goon Grease, which is one of the first oil-based pomades to actually give a high shine for such a heavy hold. And I'd say the shine in this one is actually very similar to Goon Grease. Now about the hole in this one, maybe it's because I'm using it in really hot weather, but I feel that on my hair at least, I wouldn't call it a heavy, even though it's branded as a heavy. I would say it's barely a firm. Eventually, throughout the day, like in a full work day, towards the end of the day, I would notice that my hair would start collapsing a little bit, and my sides would get puffed up a little bit more. I personally feel that the older version has a slightly better slickness and keeps my sides tighter compared to the Lockhart's, the new Lockhart's version. And that is one of the perks that I find of the older version. Maybe it's because there's a bit more grease in there compared to the newer version. So I wouldn't say one version is better than the other, but in terms of the quality of ingredients, I mean, where the ingredients are sourced from, I'm pretty sure that the ingredients from Lockhart's are sourced from uh, better suppliers, or suppliers that give higher quality ingredients, knowing that it's Lockhart's. But I say that if you really, here's like a brief summary of a comparison of these things. So basically, I would say that the hold is more or less the same actually. Slickness is better in the older version. The shine is slightly higher in the older version, but the application and styling process is easier on the newer version. And the scent is also more natural, if that makes sense, on the newer version as well. I mean, to each their own. I really like both versions of the Sweet Georgia Brown Blue, but it just happens to be that the second version somehow feels, and the newer version feels cleaner to my hair, and they perform very similarly. Um, but yeah, that's my review on SGB Blue. And hopefully you learned something from this review and you've enjoyed this one. Oh yes, and let's talk about the washability. Um, I also feel that the washability level in this one is, I don't really notice so much of a difference in um, the washout process or getting it out of my hair compared to the older one. Find that the buildup is slightly better on the newer one and also feels cleaner compared to the older version. I mean, there might be a slightly higher wax ratio in there. So I feel that's why I feel that usually with oil-based pomades, I can't believe I forgot to mention this earlier. When reviewing oil-based pomades, I should never forget talking about buildup because that's sometimes when the magic really kicks in. I feel that with buildup, I don't really have so much of an addition in. I feel like I have an extra kick in slickness, but I feel that there's not so much of a major improvement in slickness from the buildup in a way that even on the second day when I use SGB from using the buildup in the first day, um, I eventually have that slight puffing up at the end of the day, although not as much as without buildup on the first day. So buildup, I find that it's definitely greasier and it feels a lot more dirty in the older version. And the buildup actually feels nicer in the newer version. Um, but yeah, I mean, the buildup is definitely more noticeable in the older version, but at the same time, less clean. So with that being said, that wraps up my review of SGB Blue. Thank you for sticking with me and watching this video. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, comment, and click on the bell icon to never miss a single upload of pomades and pompadours. I'll see you in the next review of pomades and pompadours.